Okay, y'all, before I could even hit record, I had already pulled my love cards out and they had already started talking, y'all. I had started pulling with some more cards because the energy just picked right back up where we left off. And if you watch that first reading, you already know that somebody that you're in no contact with was showing up wanting to kind of come back in, with some type of offer, right? Well, coming soon, proposal, wrong timing, clarity. And then at the bottom of the deck, we have unawakened. So now I'm looking at this like, hold on, wait a minute, y'all. Okay. Because I don't think the problem was necessarily that, this person didn't feel something for you. I don't think that's the case at all. I think the problem may have been that they weren't ready for what this connection was asking of them. When they had you, when, things were good, they weren't ready for all that came with you, right? It was given wrong timing. Okay, they may have been emotionally unavailable. They may have been confused. They may have been avoiding commitment. They may have thought that they had more time and more time than they thought that they did, and you cut that short. But they could even just genuinely have believed that, walking away from your connection or the situation was just the easier choice. They genuinely believe that, okay? But something is changing, okay? Because now we have clarity, and sitting right next to that, this proposal, this very soon, so for somebody watching this, I do think an offer is getting closer. Okay, but I need to know something before we get too excited about this. Did this person actually wake up? Did they actually wake the freak up, y'all? Or was it just that they lost some access to you, and that scared them into coming back around? Because you got to watch, folks, because those two are completely different things. So and if you didn't watch part 1 of this, go watch that reading after this, because that's where we found out why this person, couldn't stay away in the first doggone place. Because we had reconciliation energy all up and through that reading. Okay, but Spirit also gave us a warning, though, to, not confuse somebody missing you with somebody being ready for you. That is the sound bite. That's the mic drop. Like, just because they want you don't mean that they ready for you, okay? But now, part 2, we finna find out the rest. Because I want to know, look, we got heart-to-heart conversation. So, look, somebody could definitely be coming in to try to have a conversation with you. But I want to see what clarity this person has actually gained about you and this connection. Yeah, what are they preparing to say or offer when they come back around? I need to know all the tea, because it's given they're serious about whatever they're trying to come in. But most importantly, I really want to know, if this offer shows up for you, should you take it? That's what I feel like you need to know, because this coming soon, very soon, that showed up, the energy. Yeah, it tells me that you may not have as much time to figure out that answer as you think. So let's get into it, y'all. What's the clarity? What clarity has this person gained about my collective and this connection during the separation, Spirit? What clarity has this person gained? Interesting. Look, rekindle is coming out on top of it, y'all. Look, they want to let go of the past. They want to let go of the past. Passion is showing up here. And I'm just going to take it off, because I'm definitely feeling the vibe. It's feeling like they're trying to come and overcompensate too. But rekindle, letting go of the past, and passion showing up, and psychic connection. See, I feel like they definitely have awakened to what type of connection this really was, with psychic connection showing up. Yeah, I just love how Spirit just keeps confirming that. Yes, and it's giving this person is going to pop back up in your aura and your energy real soon. Like, wow, y'all. This person's clarity is not just, I miss you, though. I'm going to tell you that. It's more like, they still feel this connection. They still want this connection. But if they come back, something about the old version of how y'all used to be, or what it was, whatever it was, it can't be the same. It has to die, okay? Because this rekindle, it says that, the flame is not gone. The flame is still there, right? Passion says that there's, the attraction, the chemistry, the emotional pull, whatever that was between the two of you, it's very much still alive, okay? But this let go of the past sitting right in the middle definitely tells me I feel like this person, finally understands that they can't come back asking for another chance while still bringing, that same baggage, that same resentment, that same fear, that same avoidance, that same behavior, that created the separation in the first place. And then look, with this psychic connection underneath, y'all, I'm telling you, some of y'all may have been feeling this person before they even said anything. You're wondering, why the heck are they on my mind? Why am I thinking about them? Why am I seeing things that remember me or remind me about them? Yeah, thinking about them out of nowhere, dreaming about them, feeling their energy. Yeah, getting that random sense that something is shifting, and that may be experiencing that, and I feel like they're experiencing that same kind of pull, that same kind of energy. But remember, in part one, it showed us that there was intense attachment, but that doesn't necessarily equate to somebody being ready. Just because they can attach to you, that doesn't necessarily mean that everything is all good and dandy, okay? So I actually do like seeing the let go of the past here, because it does suggest that somebody is at least becoming aware that this is going to be rekindled, or if it is, I'm gonna say if it's going to be rekindled, it can't just be like, oh, we going back and doing the same thing. Like, it got to be something totally different. It can't be a repeat, okay? But awareness is one thing, action is a whole nother ball game, okay? Because with this coming soon, this proposal sitting up here tells me that the person may not just be thinking about all of this much longer. So I want to know, what they want to say. That heart-to-heart conversation showed up too. So what are they actually preparing to say to you when they make contact? Not what they feel, not what they fantasizing about. What are they actually going to communicate? What does this person want to say to my collective when they reach out, when they reconnect? Ooh. Okay, hold on. What does this person want to say to my collective when they reach out? I feel like you may be dealing with a person that tried to straight up say, or they made you feel as if they didn't care for you or they didn't love you. They were lying, okay? They were lying. They were trying maybe not to feel the way that they feel, because the energy was given intense, y'all. It was given intense. But what are they actually going to communicate with my collective? Look, okay, and that's so funny, because it was literally about to come out of my mouth. I feel like they're going to blame it on, maybe their money's been funny. They're trying to do this, that, and the third in their career. Something's going on at work. But I told you, the attraction never died. If they said that they weren't attracted to you for whatever reason, the chemistry wasn't there, they lied, okay? But I feel like, honestly, this finances and career, it does kind of change things in a really useful way, though, because now we're getting a possible reason why the wrong timing had showed up, or, because I do feel like, that could genuinely be someone's story. We're getting somewhere now, because we asked what this person is preparing to say, or what they want to understand, what they want you to understand, when they come back around. And finances and career came out. So for some of you, part of what created that distance may have not just been the emotional immaturity, okay, or fear of commitment. This person, like I said, may genuinely have felt unstable in their life, their money life, their work life, their career, just trying to get themselves established and feeling like they couldn't give you what they wanted to give you. You know what I mean? They're feeling behind. They have some type of insecurity within themselves, feeling like they needed to, fix their life before they could fully show up the way that they wanted to show up in this connection. That's why I'm getting this wrong timing, because I'm not reading this as this person never wanted you, okay? I'm reading it more like they for sure wanted you, okay? But they didn't feel ready for what you required, which isn't a bad thing, y'all, which is not a bad thing at all. Because look, I'd rather somebody recognize that, and give you the opportunity. Look at that. See, less this passion, this intimacy. Yeah, I feel like there's definitely a connection, an undeniable connection with this person, y'all. And it's, yeah, with attraction that showed up at the bottom of the deck, the desire never really went anywhere, okay? Because the attraction's still there, the chemistry's there, the pull is there. Somebody may come back around and try to explain that, while you were taking the silence personally, possibly, they were dealing with things in their own life that made them feel just inadequate and unstable or distracted or just unable to really commit the way that you really needed them to. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that excuse how they handled you or handled the situation, y'all, because somebody can definitely be going through something and still communicate. We all go through something, right? But so I would want my collective to definitely hear the explanation out without automatically, turning that into a justification, because it does tell me that whatever the separation may have had, it may have had more to do with how this person felt about themselves. Like I said, it was really them, not you, and not necessarily how they felt about you, okay? But now I want to see whether these circumstances have actually changed. Like, because if they still dealing with the same thing, if the finances, the career, the instability, the timing, if all of these were the reason that they couldn't show up for you before, what's really, what makes them think that they can show up differently now? Let's see what has actually changed in this person's circumstances or mindset, because, that may be necessary too. What makes them feel that they're ready to come back now, Spirit? Why are they so gung-ho and ready to come back now? Look, they're trying to be honest. They want to make the effort to be honest. See, I told you they were lying. They were being deceptive. They said things that they did not mean. Expect the heart-to-heart conversation. Was that literally not the card that was at the bottom of the deck to start the reading, the underlying energy? So expect the heart-to-heart conversation. Expect this person coming to really express how they honestly felt, what was honestly going on, in ways that they did not before, okay? But this is literally confirmation and proof of the action that we needed, y'all, okay? Because this honest communication with the make the effort definitely tells me that the shift is not just internal anymore, because this person may definitely be preparing to actually say, what they should have said long before, okay? They want to do what they should have done long before, okay? This is actually really important because we asked what changed. That makes this person feel like they can come back differently now. And with this make the effort at the bottom of the deck, I definitely feel like I don't think that this person is, just only sitting around and thinking about you, okay? I think that they are definitely starting to understand that if they want another chance, they're definitely going to have to come different, communicate different, okay? They're going to have to show up differently, just point blank, period. And that can mean, finally telling you what's really was happening behind closed doors, behind the scenes, finally explaining why they pulled away, or admitting what they were afraid of in the beginning, or just finally acknowledge that, the part they played in this whole separation or whatever. But with make the effort underneath, that definitely tells me that this is not supposed to just stop at a conversation, okay? Because words are cute, they can make it really sound good, but if y'all are coming back, after no contact, after distance has been, in place, after separation, after ghosting, after confusion, words, words can just be cute. But I want to see what they're actually gonna do. And I think this person knows that too. They may know that they can't just, slide back in your text messages or whatever with a hey stranger, or, hey boo, and just expect automatic immediate access to you again. They definitely may have to pursue you, okay? They're going to have to rebuild the trust and prove the consistency, and they're going to have to show you that whatever kept them from showing up before is not going, keep running amok in the relationship going forward. That has to be shown. And that actually connects all the way back to the beginning, like the coming soon, the proposal. This person, like I said, I feel like is really realizing that the timing was wrong before, because they were not showing up, y'all. They weren't being honest. They weren't being intentional enough to sustain what you were asking for. Okay. But now we're at the part I really, really, really wanted to get to, because somebody can communicate honestly. They can make an effort and still not necessarily be the right choice for you. So if this person is actually coming back and does what these cards are showing, should you accept the offer? That's the question. What does my collective need to know before deciding whether to accept this person back, Spirit? What does my collective need to know before deciding whether to take this person back? Interesting. 2 cards wanted to come out. Wow. So, and it's funny that two love language cards came out. Physical touch and acts of service. But look, what's showing up at the bottom of the deck. We have a disguise. Some elements of this relationship are hidden. And that's what I said. I feel like that's confirmation that there are going to be some things that come out like in the wash. Things that you may not have known. I feel like you're about to find those things out. But this is why I feel like exactly why Spirit told you not to rush into just saying yes. Just because there's some type of proposal don't mean you gotta say yeah, because we asked what you needed to know before deciding whether to accept this person back, and we got these love languages. So yes, this person may come back trying to show you that they care, and not just say it. I feel like, they want to spend time with you. They want to help you. They want to do things for you. They want to physically be close to you and show affection. They want to rebuild that intimacy. That's what was showing up that look. And within the next few weeks, this person, I'm telling you, yeah, they're missing you. Look what's happening. They're longing for you, missing you, desiring that connection. Within the next few weeks, this is confirmation to that coming soon, y'all. So if they have not reached out, just expect them to within the next few weeks. But that's what I was talking about, that intimacy between you all. It's undeniable, y'all. I can't even hold you, okay? And on the surface, that sounds good, right? But with this disguise showing up, y'all, some elements of the relationship are hidden. Spirit is basically saying, look, don't let that effort, don't let the chemistry and the affection and the sex and the gifts and the favors, or just y'all physically being close again, keep you from asking the real deeper questions. Okay, because I'm telling you, somebody can absolutely come back home more attentive, okay, and still be withholding something. Okay, so clue in, all right? Somebody can make some effort and still not have fully addressed the issues that broke the connection down in the first place. You know what I mean? And remember what we had already saw earlier, the honest communication. That becomes even more important now, because if this person comes out saying, I'm going to show you this time, okay? Like, okay, but show me and tell me the truth. Like, I need both. I used to always hate when people say actions speak louder than words. No, I need both. I need both to be equally on point. I need 1 + 1 = 2. I need the math to math. I need your actions and your words to match. Okay, you need both. So, and I also feel like this is telling you to watch how they express their love to you versus how they actually how you actually need to feel secure. That goes back to the first reading, like, love yourself first. If what they're offering is still not good enough, that's okay. That's okay, y'all, because maybe they think the physical affection fixes things. Maybe they think doing something nice or getting you a gift, or showing up at your door, or spending money, taking you somewhere, helping you with something, or just being intimate proves that they change, and that's not true. They think that they can fix it. No. Okay, if what you needed all along was consistency or transparency and emotional safety, or commitment, accountability, and they're not giving it, do not accept the substitute for the thing that you actually need, for the thing that you actually asked for. Okay, this is not, Spirit's not bringing this person around to be like, okay, have you changed your mind? Do you want the discounted great value version? No. Okay, that's not what this is. That's where this disguise comes in, I feel like, y'all, because And not necessarily that this person is just straight up lying, but I feel like a beautiful gesture can, you know, definitely be a disguise for, you know, something that's still unresolved. And you know, yeah. So should you take them back? I don't think Spirit is giving everybody watching this, you know, one universal yes or no. But I do think Spirit is saying, like, let their actions prove that the offer is worth taking. Like, you know, let their honesty explain the change that has happened, because there has to be some type of change, okay? And then if they come back offering you the same old chemistry with a different presentation, like, you don't want shit wrapped in gift wrap, okay? That's not transformation. That's not it. That's not cute. That's not what we going for, okay? I just need to know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know, y'all. Let me know down in the comment section. You gonna take this person back or no? Because I feel like I said, the chemistry is undeniable. And some of y'all are probably definitely having a very interesting physical connection if you pick up what I'm putting down. But yeah, they're coming back, y'all. They're coming back. They do definitely want to rekindle. Wrong timing, and personal instability, you know, may have definitely played a role in what happened, how things transpired. But they do seem to be more willing to honestly communicate and make an effort now. But I'm telling you, your discernment is still very much required, okay? It's very much required, because I do feel like something may not fully be all the way revealed yet, okay? And listen, if this felt way too personal, way too specific, and you need clarity on you and your person, your connection, and, you know, whether this return, them coming back, is actually in your best interest or not, you know, that's where we go deeper on my one-on-ones. The link to work with me is down below. You can check out my relationship blueprints or get a personal reading to answer your questions. But yeah, that's what I got for you, boo. Be looking for this person to be in your good graces, trying to be in your good graces within these next couple of weeks. And it's so funny, y'all, that August is the month that's showing up on here. You know, so this may literally be August going into September. Okay. Why do I feel like somebody could be dealing with a Gemini? It doesn't have to be, but yeah, with that May sticking out too, you could be dealing with a Gemini or someone, their birthday is in May. Taurus, Gemini. But anywho, yeah, that's what I got for you, boo. In the meantime, in between time, until next time, love you.